Hey y'all, it's your girl Age and I am back. And I am ready to feed the girls once more. Today we are about to talk about episode 8 of the awesome television show KinnPorsche. Please y'all, before we hop in, tell me your favorite thing about this episode in the comments below. Also, I would like to know your favorite character in the whole series. And I can tell you what my favorite moment was last episode. It was the slap. Okay, when I tell y'all Porsche slapped the fuck out of Kinn, yes, it was amazing. Now, let's hop into this episode. Girl, now Porsche and Kinn waking up in Kinn's bed, and they both are all happy and in love. But boy, last night was a rocky start for them, okay? And might I add, some boys can be very fucking gross, okay? Blowing y'all's morning breath in each other's face is so nasty, no sir. But then they give each other a little smooch, and then someone calls to bring breakfast to Kinn, because you know he gets his breakfast service. So they're scrambling to get dressed in a bed, and, well, at least Porsche is scrambling to get dressed in a bed. Kinn is chilling, sitting back like, I'm gonna watch you struggle. And might I add, Porsche's waistline is like real snatched. Like he look real like slim in the waist. So Pete walks in and he questions Porsche like, why are you in Kinn's room so early in the morning? Kinn says that he called Porsche in for punishment last night. And then Pete asks Porsche, was it rough? And Porsche says, yes, it was. Achoo! Yeah, I cannot with these two, okay? He said his legs are still shaking. I love being in on this joke, actually, okay? Because Pete is none the wiser. Then Porsche fucking crawls back into the bed. I'm so done with him. And this shameless brand deal for this bread. But do I want to try it out now? Maybe. Then they walk out of the room and they, Kinn and Porsche, they each have on one white sock and one burgundy sock. Yeah, they are all smiles and so in love. And I love that they have their little couple moments because it's very rare, being in this type of business that they're in, being gangsters. Then the next scene is Porsche literally caressing Kim's penis underneath the table with his foot when they are in the company meeting with all the other bodyguards. How bold of these two to be doing all of that, but like there's everybody in the room, okay? They might as well come out as boyfriends because what's the point in waiting? Well, I guess they don't want people to think, oh, Porsche's getting preferential treatment since he's fucking the boss. So after the meeting, Kinn is walking with the bodyguard Kinn and Porsche, and then he pulls Porsche inside of his room like he has a punishment for Porsche. Kinn, the bodyguard, has a smirk on his face thinking that Porsche is about to get in trouble. Yeah, no, sir. He's about to get something else. So while the bodyguard, Kinn, and Big are sitting outside the door, they start to hear sounds coming out of Kinn's room. They think it's punishment, but really, as we all know as the audience, they're up in there banging, okay? So the next scene, Porsche ends up at the Hum Bar to speak with Yoke, and she pinpoints as soon as possible. Porsche is in love. Yoke is like, okay, who are you in love with? And John guesses it right away. He guesses that it's Kinn, and he is absolutely right. And Yoke is like, what's wrong? Porsche asks to keep it a secret. Y'all, he wants to keep him and Kinn's relationship a secret. That's so sad. He says it's because he's never dated a guy before. And I also know this. I think it was canon in the actual books, which I have 3 of on my shelf right now. That, no, actually, I think I have 2. Anyway, I think it's canon in the books that Porsche was supposed to be straight the whole time until Kinn walked into the picture. So Porsche is a little bit lost, and I'm so happy that Yoke is there to talk to him through some of his worries. That is absolutely so sweet of her, and she is like really a true friend. She's like one of those guiding friends in your life that you can go to who they just know stuff, So Yoke tells Porsche that they have to spend time together. They have to date each other, go on dates with him, learn about each other, spend some sweet time together. Clearly, Porsche has never dated much. Okay, y'all? So, y'all, the next scene, I really like this scene. Okay, so it is Porsche. It's so cute, y'all. Porsche must have worked so hard for this date. And come to think of it, both of them, him and Kinn, they must have never really dated much. Porsche was always in survival mode and Kinn was always in mafia boss mode. So they go to a cafe, and when they finally get to the cafe, they both look so adorable in their regular clothes, and they are matching in their blues, basics. And yeah, it's so sweet. It's really, really lovely. And you can tell that they are both very nervous. Yeah, this is their first date, even though they've been through so much stuff together already. This is their date. But I cannot with those sunglasses, though. Porsche just has to get comfortable with his sexuality now, okay? You're dating a boy, and it's okay. And when I tell y'all, Porsche is such a doting boyfriend, trying to make sure everything is perfect. Y'all, they make my heart melt. So, later we meet Big, and he is chatting with Kim, who hands him 2 photos, one of a man and one of a woman, with the last name Kitsawat. Porsche and Porsche's parents. I had to pause a little because I don't know if I pronounced Kitsawat, their last name correctly, but I tried. Big is like, why do you want to know about Porsche's parents? And Kim is kind of like, mind your damn business. Yeah, he is so savage. Big asks, why is Korn so interested in Porsche? Kim says he don't really know why. And he's like, but what if Porsche is the child of, Korn's mistress, like his dad's mistress, meaning that Porsche and Porsche are actually Kim and Kinn's brother. That would be totally horrible and juicy for the plot if so. Kim says that he's just joking, but then he says that they've lost so much time with him already. Way too much time. And I'm just like, what does that mean? Way too much time with who? Does he mean Porsche or what? I know one thing though. He is very meticulous about his work, that Kim. He's a very, very nosy boy, just like Tin Kung had said earlier. The next scene is Porsche and Kim, and they are still on their date. It's an all-day date, okay, because it's nighttime. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, won't Ken get in trouble for that? Because didn't he miss a day at work one time and his dad was like, yeah, no. Anyway, my boy was stressing to make it perfect, and Porsche let it slip that this was his first date of his life, actually. Porsche had actually thought that the date was going bad, but Ken said that he has had the best day of his freaking life. It was so awesome. Also, Ken gave Porsche a little phone so that he can use to call him, Ken, only. Because they're not supposed to have phones in the complex. Anyway, as they were walking, Porsche saw a random-ass man staring at him. Keep this random-ass man in mind. He's going to come back. Y'all, this was really such an awesome day for them. I love all the kisses and smiles. And on top of that, Jeff Satter's voice in the background playing. Oh my gosh, that song is so beautiful. It's Porsche's song that he had wrote. It is so cool to me. It's like their little brothers are literally serenading them in the background. With his voice, Porsche's lyrics, and just Ken and Porsche's happiness. Y'all, my heart is really achy, okay? This must be so rare for Ken, who's always under a goddamn microscope. Everyone, just go and watch the scene of these two and take in everything. The sights and the sounds and the emotions that they are feeling. And the emotions that you yourself are feeling. Also, listen to Jeff Setcher's voice, y'all. Feel the good vibes, okay? I implore you to go do that. The next morning, Porsche is outside talking to Pete, and he sees the strange guy again that he had seen the night before. Y'all, the guy looks creepy as hell. He looks like sick, dilapidated, almost dead. And I'm not even sure if it's like a real person or if it's a ghost. So when Porsche and Pete go upstairs to their room, Porsche's like, Ken is being stalked. He decides to draw the man to Pete that he saw, but he ends up drawing the guy, and it is really, really horrible that Pete can't even discern what the heck the guy. It looks like chicken scratch, okay? And Pete was like, if I saw anything that looked like this horrible drawing, I would be afraid just like you. And y'all, I cackled, okay? Like, Porsche can do a lot of things, but baby cannot draw. And kudos to Pete for the polite drag. Anyway, Porsche hits it on the nose when he says that Ken is being stalked, but more on that later. Pete says that it may be one of Ken's fuck buddies that he had back in the day. Go check his secret phone where he orders his sex workers. And y'all, I had to stop. I was like, is Ken on some P. Diddy shit? Just hiring escorts to just fuck around with? Anyway, so they decide to steal Ken's secret phone. They sneak into Ken's room, and Porsche finds his phone, and he's going through all the people that Kinn had been with. And then he's like, dang, this man is a whore. He's been with so many goddamn people. And then he had to call me a little slutty slut. Kinn was a lonely man, y'all. That's what I get when I see someone with so many partners. Not even partners, so many just bodies. Lonely and self-esteem issues. Good God. So, as they were sneaking around in Kinn's room, Pete warns that, hey, Kinn is coming. And Pete decides to haul ass. So, Porsche does what Porsche does best. He offers his body as sacrifice. So, when Kinn gets into the room, Porsche's like, surprise! And they have sex again. The old-fashioned distraction of sexual allure always gets you out of a bind. So when Porsche enters his dorm, Pete believes that Kinn punished Porsche again. Oh, he punished him, all right. So Porsche didn't see the ghost guy in Kinn's phone, but he did see the ghost guy in a photo with Kinn tucked in the back of a picture frame. He gave it to Pete. Pete looked absolutely shocked when he saw the photo. He says, the guy that Porsche keeps on seeing is Kinn's deceased ex, Taiwan. Didn't Vegas tell us that Taiwan is dead? Yo, what is going on? So Porsche, like any other sane person who thinks they are seeing a ghost, does. He goes to the holy place, the temple, to try to stop being haunted. He's trying to get some blessings, maybe some artifact that will help, like, keep the ghosts away. But the weird thing is, the monk actually saw the guy standing next to Porsche as well. So I'm just like, okay, what is going on? So next scene, we see Kim walk out of his apartment and Porsche is there. Yeah, he's by the concierge. Apparently, Kim wasn't answering any of his calls, basically ignoring Porsche. Like, why, Kim? Are you feeling guilty for leading our baby Porsche on? Or is it something else? Like, are you yourself catching feelings? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. All Porsche wanted to do was perform the love song that he had wrote about his love to his love. I'm like, come on, Kim. At least give Porsche this. You were the one who made him write the love song anyway. Now you have to listen to it. You have to stand the bed that you made, okay? So, Porsche, he finished the song, and Kim has so many emotions, like guilt, confusion, blushing, guilt, as he should. You really strung that butt along, Kim. Now the only way for you to atone for using Porsche, making Porsche fall in love with you, is to actually fall in love back with Porsche. That is the only way I see forward now, okay? Just let the heart drop as atonement. So, remember how Porsche is afraid of ghosts? Well, it is nighttime and Porsche doesn't want to be alone, so he begs to go with Pete to watch movies with Kinn all night. And Porsche hates watching movies with Kinn. He don't like really hanging out with him that much. Lo and behold, they're all watching a horror movie because it's scary movie night, okay? And all of the bodyguards in Kinn are scared on the bed. But Porsche is just so horribly scared. Like, he screams loud and dramatic. And Kinn ends up kicking Porsche out of the room. He's like, you can't join my movie and get out. Porsche is alone and scared in his room. And he is psyching himself out. Y'all, he is so damn scared that he even called Kinn to try to seduce him to come over. Kinn was like, nah, man. And he hung up. Then Porsche is alone in his dorm and he starts to hear his name over and over again. Terrified, he turns in the hallway, sure that it is the ghost that is there with him. Nah, it's only Kinn fucking with him. And he was the one who was sitting there calling his name. Diabolical. And he knows that Porsche is scared of ghosts, okay? Porsche eventually ends up telling Kinn what's going on, that he is being haunted by Kinn's ex, Taiwan. Kinn let it be known that Taiwan betrayed him by selling Kinn's family information to the Italians. So he shot him. And after that, Kinn said that he had major trust issues. He really could not trust anybody. And he really loved Taiwan. But he learned that Taiwan had never loved him. He only used him. Then Porsche was like, well, why do you still keep this photo of you and him? Yeah, why do you keep that photo of your ex, Kinn? To be fair, people may keep their ex not because they love them or miss them, but to remember the face of the ops. Remember your enemies. You better not forget the ops, guys. Life lesson. So, there are reasons to keep a photo like that. But if that is not the one and only reason, then get rid of those photos and get rid of your ex, okay? And that's what Kinn did. He balled up the picture and threw it away. Good job, Kinn. So, the next day, Porsche and Kinn go to the temple again to get their blessings. Then, suddenly, Taiwan pops up out of the blue and faints right there in the temple. Taiwan isn't dead, y'all. And I am pissed about that, okay? So, guys, like, subscribe, and leave me a cute little comment about what you think is about to happen next. And remember, how come hoes never stay dead?